Welcome back to another episode of Scholastic IQ, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have truly a clash of the titans happening. I believe the champion from 2 years ago against last year's champ. It's gonna be a good one, so let's introduce our teams. On the bottom, we have Calloway County with Ezra, Connor, Aubrey, and Nathaniel. And up top, we have the returning champs, Metro East, with Ethan, Harry, Mary, and Peter. Now, before we get into the questions, let's just do a quick recap of our rules. We'll start out with some toss-up questions. Those are worth 10 points. If a team gets it right, they move on to a bonus question, which is worth 20 and can be stolen for 10. You guys are allowed to interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get a question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team. So just be right all the time and it won't matter. Let's get into the questions. What fictional group whose members include Baby John and Action sings G, Officer Kripke, and are the rivals?
Jets.
The Jets is correct. Also a fantastic NHL team. Let's go Peg City. For your bonus, during what uprising in the 17th century Virginia did rebels opposed to Governor William Berkeley issue the Declaration of the People and burn Jamestown?
Whiskey.
Whiskey is incorrect. Calloway County, a chance to steal.
Shays.
Shay is incorrect. We were looking for a different food, a bacon. Bacon's Rebellion. Your next question. What part of the human upper extremity is known as the pollex, has 2 phalanges, and Peter?
Foot.
Foot is incorrect. I will reread the question for you, Calloway. What part of the human upper extremity is known as the pollex, has 2 phalanges, and has a saddle-shaped joint that allows it to be opposable? Connor.
Thumb.
Thumb is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in Aldous Huxley's dystopian novel, Brave New World, what 20th century industrialist is venerated for philosophical teaching, such as history is bunk?
Carnegie.
Carnegie is incorrect. Metro East, chance to steal.
Ford.
Henry Ford is correct. Well done. For your next question, what playwright wrote about Septimus tutoring Thomasina in Arcadia and about 2 characters from Hamlet in Rosencrantz and Guild? Aubrey.
Stoppard.
Tom Stoppard is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Manama is the capital of what Middle Eastern country that is linked to the mainland by the King Fahd Causeway?
Qatar.
Qatar is incorrect. Metro East, a chance to steal.
Bahrain.
Bahrain is correct. Well done, Metro East. For your next question, what city is home to Amira Onsen Hot Springs, was devastated by the 1995 Great Hachian earthquake, and is the source of a prized Japanese beef? Ezra.
Wagyu.
Wagyu is incorrect. Ethan.
Kobe.
Kobe beef is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what non-SI unit of an area is equal to about 2.5 acres or a square 100 meters on a side?
Square mile.
Square mile is incorrect. Calloway County, a chance to steal.
Square kilometer.
Square kilometer is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was hectare. Hectare. For your next question, what man fired CEO Parag Agrawal and shared a picture of himself carrying a sink in October 2022? Ezra.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, what alliterative nickname arose for the 47-ton German Emgerat howitzer artillery guns that were used at the Battle of the Liege and Verdun?
Big Bertha.
Big Bertha is correct. Well done. For your next question, what show whose season 4 soundtrack opens with Separate Ways and includes Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill? Aubrey.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what singer whose solo albums include doo-wops and hooligans joined rapper Anderson .Paak to form the super duo Silk Sonic?
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars is correct. Well done. For your next question, what region, which extends from Woods Hole in the southwest to Provincetown, is to the north of Martha's Vineyard and is a cape in Nathaniel?
Cape Cod.
Cape Cod is correct. Also fantastic chips, but well done. For your bonus, the optimal reaction for fusion reactors requires what unstable isotope of hydrogen that has 2 neutrons?
Deuterium.
Deuterium is incorrect. Metro East, chance to steal.
Tritium.
Tritium is correct. Well done. For your next question, what president authorized Operation Ajax to overthrow Iran's prime minister, created NASA to kick off the space race? Harry.
Kennedy.
Kennedy is incorrect. I will reread the full question. What president authorized Operation Ajax to overthrow Iran's prime minister, created NASA to kick off the space race in 1958, and was nicknamed Ike? Nathaniel.
Eisenhower.
Dwight D. Eisenhower is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, in the Black Hawk Down incident, 18 American soldiers died fighting in 1993 against insurgents in what East African capital city? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. Metro East, the chance to steal.
Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Mogadishu. Mogadishu. The next question. What quantity whose vapor type appears in Raoult's law is inversely proportional to a gas's volume and can be measured in pascals or atmos? Nathaniel.
Pressure.
Pressure is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what volcano, which erupted in December 2022 for the first time since 1984, makes up much of the big island of Hawaii?
Kilauea.
Kilauea is incorrect.
Motunui.
Motunui is incorrect. The answer you're looking for was Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa. For the next question, in 2022, Dina Boluarte became what South American country's first female president after Pedro Castillo was impeached and detained in its capital, Ethan?
Peru.
Peru is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the AES and RSA algorithms perform a what task which encodes a message so that only those with a certain key can read it?
Encryption.
Encryption is correct. Well done. For the next question, what Roman politician was the target of Cicero's Philippics and lost the Battle of Actium to Octavian, after which he...
Mark Antony.
Mark Antony is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what work by Art Spiegelman about the Holocaust was the first graphic novel to win a Pulitzer Prize?
Mouse.
Mouse is correct. Well done. Next question. What artist painted a crumbling pillar inside a torso in The Broken Column and included hummingbirds in a self-portrait inspired by her Mexican Harry?
Kahlo.
Frida Kahlo is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what name is shared by an outdoor apparel company founded by Yvon Chouinard and an arid region of southern Chile and Argentina?
Patagonia.
Patagonia is correct. Well done. For the next question, what novel whose protagonist works at the Liberty Paint Factory and lives in Harlem features an unmarried?
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man is correct. Well done. For your bonus, pencil and paper ready. For any positive value of x, the base 3 logarithm of x equals what integer times the base 9 logarithm of x?
Two.
2 is correct. Well done. Your next question. What denomination, the main target of the Know Nothing movement, had no adherents elected president until 1960? Mary.
Catholic.
Can you say that again?
Catholic.
Catholics is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what 3-word term whose first word begins with S denotes the splitting up of responsibilities within a government into branches?
Separation of powers.
Separation of powers is correct. Well done. For Next question. What substances formed by the homeolysis of CFCs contribute to the breakdown of atmospheric ozone and contain one or more unpaired electrons? Ethan.
Free radicals.
Free radicals is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Barbara Tuchman's A Distant Mirror is about what calamitous century during which millions died of the Black Death?
14th.
The 14th century is correct. Hold on. For the next question, what book, which contains a list of costs totaling over $28 in a chapter titled Economy, depicts the life in the woods of Henry David Thoreau? Aubrey.
Walden.
Walden is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what author noted, "They also serve who only stand and wait," in his sonnet, "When I consider how my light is spent," about his blindness?
Keats.
Keats is incorrect. Metro East, chance to steal.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder, noted blind person, not the answer you're looking for. The answer you're looking for was John Milton. John Milton.
I forgot it was blind.
For the next question, what country's politics were controlled from 1929 to 2000 by the PRI?
Mexico.
Ethan. Mexico is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what law, which can be derived from Fermat's principle of least time, relates the signs of the angles of incidence and refraction?
Law of signs.
Law of signs is incorrect. Calloway County, chance to steal.
Law of cosines.
That's also incorrect. The answer you're looking for was Snell's law. Snell's law. For your next question, what kind of celebrations include the Iranian Nowruz, the Vietnamese Tet, and the Chinese festival that takes place in January or February? Ethan.
New Year's.
New Year is correct. Well done.
Kind of fancy.
For your bonus, in May 2023, what Major League Baseball franchise announced a new stadium agreement that allows the team to move to Las Vegas by 2025?
A's.
The Oakland A's is unfortunately correct. Poor Oakland. They just lose every team. I feel so bad. For your next toss-up, what 6-letter term describes saturated hydrocarbons that have the maximum possible number of attached hydrogen atoms, such as methane or propane? Aubrey.
Stable.
Stable is incorrect. Ethan.
Aldehydes.
Aldehydes is incorrect. The answer you're looking for was alkanes. Alkanes. And that will take us to our lightning round. The way our lightning round will work is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a certain topic. Now, Calloway, since you guys are trailing in this one, you guys get the first pick of the litter. Your choices are A, in literature, Age of Discovery, Judges on The Voice, or M.
The discoveries.
Age of Discovery. All right. Answer the following about European naval exploration in the 15th, 16th, and 17th century. 60 seconds on the clock. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1. Initial captain of the first voyage to circumnavigate the globe.
Magellan.
That's correct. South African Cape reached by Bartholomew Diaz.
Good Hope.
Portuguese prince known as the Navigator.
Henry.
Magnetic orienting device essential to ocean exploration.
Compass.
First European to reach India by sea.
Vasco da Gama.
A main triangular sail hung at 45 degrees.
Schoon.
That's incorrect. Modern day country explored by John Cabot.
Pass.
Mythical water feature that Juan de Ponce de Leon.
Fountain of Youth.
That's correct. Columbus's Nina and Pinta were this type of speedy ship.
Schooner.
That's incorrect. Italian mapmaker and namesake of America.
Americo Vespucci.
That is correct. A main triangular sail. Oh no, you guys. Modern day country explored by John Cabot.
Canada.
That is correct. And I believe that is all of the questions. So we will go through the ones that you guys missed. The triangular sail hung at a 45-degree angle is Latvian sail. The Columbus's Nina and Pinta were this type of speedy ship was Caravel. But very well done, going, I believe, 8 for 10 there. Nothing to sneeze at all. But now Metro East, you guys get the chance to respond with your choices being judges on The Voice, M, or A in literature.
A in literature.
A in literature is name the authors of these English language works whose titles start with the letter A. 60 seconds on the clock. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Carol.
Animal Farm.
Orwell.
Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Twain.
Twain.
As I Lay Dying and Absalom.
Faulkner.
Anthem and Atlas Shrugged.
Rand.
Age of Innocence.
Wharton.
The Awakening.
Chopin.
Anne of Green Gables.
Montgomery.
Angela's Ashes.
Pass.
The Ambassadors.
James.
Angela's Ashes.
Smith.
Smith is incorrect. The answer we were looking for was Frank McCourt. But very well done there, going 9 out of 10. So now let's take a look at our scores after the lightning round. We have Metro East on top, 360 to Calloway County's 210. But with each question being worth 30 points, plenty of time to come back in the game. Let's get back to our questions. What title character thwarts the plans of his employer, Count Almaviva, in a Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart comic opera about his marriage to Susanna? Nathaniel.
Figaro.
is correct. Well done. For your bonus, which grandson of Chandragupta and third ruler of the Mauryan Empire converted to Buddhism after winning the Kalinga War and wrote many rock edicts?
Ashoka.
Ashoka is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what poet wrote about a man guttering, choking, drowning with froth-corrupted lungs from a gas attack in his anti-war poem, Duce and Decorum? Oh, if I said this is a bonus question, this is a toss-up, so you both answer. So you guys are all out of time. The answer you're looking for was Wilfred Owen. For our next question, what business, which is the world's largest music publisher, makes Bravi branded televisions, Xperia phones, and the PlayStation console? Harry. Sony is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what weather phenomenon rubs its back upon the window panes in a love song by T.S. Eliot and comes on little cat feet in a Carl Sandburg poem?
Fog
is correct. Well done. For your next question, pencil and paper ready. What is the length of each long side of a rectangle whose short sides each measure 10 and whose perimeter is 44? Connor. 12 is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Calabria lies at the eastern end of what strait that separates Sicily from the Italian mainland?
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar is incorrect. Metro East, a chance to steal.
Palmyra
is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Strait of Messina. For your next question, what hero who was awarded the Hide of Caledonian Boar by Meleager lost? Harry.
Atalanta
is correct. For your bonus, as of 2022, women such as Wilma Mankiller and Anna May Wong can be seen on what objects issued by the U.S. government?
Dollar coin
is incorrect. Calloway County, a chance to steal.
$50.
is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was quarter. A quarter. For your next question, during what war did a secret study leaked by Daniel Ellsberg, known as the Nathaniel?
Vietnam.
Vietnam War is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, what man became the youngest ever presidential nominee of a major party after giving his Cross of Gold speech in 1896?
William Jennings Bryan.
William Jennings Bryan is correct. Well done. For next question, poems in what form, many of which appear in Narrow Road to the Deep North, have lines of 5, 7, and Aubrey?
Haiku.
Haiku is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what name is sometimes given to 2-2 time, which can be denoted by a C with a vertical line through it?
Cut time.
Cut time is correct. Well done. For next question, in what film whose protagonist runs a savings bank in Bedford Falls does an angel, Harry?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what physicist worked with Harvey Fletcher to first determine the charge of the electron by making oil drops hover in a capacitor?
Boyle.
Boyle's incorrect. Calloway County, the chance to steal.
Milliken.
Robert A. Milliken is correct. Well done. For the next question, what animal, the largest reptile in North America, is an apex predator native to the entire Gulf Coast and shares an order with crocodiles? Harry.
Alligator.
American alligator is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what playwright created backstabbing real estate salesman Dave Moss, Shelley Levine, and Ricky Roma in his 1983 play Glengarry Glen Ross? So these are all at a time. Calloway, chance to steal.
Miller.
Miller is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was David Mamet. David Mamet. The next question, what alleged member of the Klist sect tried to treat Tsarevich Alexei's hemophilia before being shot in Nathaniel?
Rasputin.
Grigory Rasputin is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in the 12th century, what city of about 1 million people was capital of the Khmer Empire and had a namesake temple complex, or Wat?
Angkor Wat.
Angkor Wat is correct. Well done. For the next question, what creature which is supposedly depicted in the so-called surgeon's photograph taken in 1934 is said to live in a lake? Peter.
Nessie.
Nessie is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in October 2022, Nuri Martinez resigned as a member of what city's city council after recording leaked of her making racist remarks?
St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
St. Louis.
St. Louis is incorrect. Callaway County, the chance to steal.
New York City.
New York is incorrect. The answer you're looking for was Los Angeles. Los Angeles. For the next question, what type of bird which cannot hear its master's call in the poem The Second Coming partly titles a Dashiell Hamlet novel about a Maltese Mary?
Falcon.
Falcon is correct. Well done. For your bonus, pencil and paper ready. What is the area of an annulus formed by two concentric circles whose radii are 10 and 5 respectively?
125 plus 2 pi.
That is incorrect. Callaway County, the chance to steal.
37.55.
That is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was 75 pi. 75 pi. For your next question, what Chinese dynasty, which was led by the Asin-Gyoro clan, faced the Boxer Rebellion and was led by Puyi, the final emperor of Harry?
Qing.
Qing dynasty is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what YA author wrote about Lyra Bilakoa's conflicts with the repressive magisterium, the fantasy series, The Book of Dust, and his dark materials? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. Callaway, chance to steal.
Claire.
Claire is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Philip Pullman. Philip Pullman. And that is all the time we have for on today's show, so let's take a look at our scores. On top, we have Metro East over Calloway with a very tight 450 to 350. In honestly a series that could have very easily been the finale. Very well done to both of you guys. Great job. So that is all the time we have for on today's show. For all of our contestants here today, as well as the people working hard behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much, and good night.